Subscribe now and press the bell icon. Never miss an update.
Now we'll go on to the question. The question says, what is the name of outward forex remittance service rolled out by Kotak Mahindra Bank on its mobile banking app? So in mobile banking, Kotak Mahindra's mobile banking, the Kotak Bank has released one outward forex remittance service. So they have included this service in their mobile banking app. No, so they are asking that service name. We'll see the options. The options are A. Kotak Abroad, B. Kotak Remit, C. Kotak Transact, D. Kotak FX, Kotak Forex. In none of these. So recently, our India's private sector bank, it is Kotak Mahindra Bank. It is in our India's private sector bank. No, so this bank has launched an outward forex remittance service. Means outward forex remittance means the money which is sending through from India to other countries. So they're asking that service name. So the service name is Kotak Remit. So recently our Kotak Mahindra Bank has released this outward forex remittance service, that is Kotak Remit. So through this Kotak Remit service, through mobile banking app, Kotak Mahindra Bank mobile bank users can send per day 25,000 US dollars, which is equivalent, and the maximum per financial year maximum 2,50,000 US dollars can remit through their mobile banking app platform. So that is a simply. So here you need to remember that Kotak Mahindra for outward forex remittance service name. So that service name is Kotak Remit. So through this Kotak Remit, you need to remember these 2 points also, 2,50,000 and 25,000 US dollars only. Both currencies in US dollars only. So per day customers can send maximum 25,000 US dollars. In financial year maximum can send USD 2,50,000. So that much only. And when comes to static part of this Kotak Mahindra Bank, the headquarters of this Kotak Mahindra Bank, it is Mumbai, of course, and present MD and CEO of Kotak Mahindra Bank, Uday Kotak. Uday Kotak. So these 4 points you need to remember in exam point of view. Now moving on next question. The question says, how much amount will be infused by Finance Ministry in the state-owned general insurance companies for the fiscal year 2021 for their recapitalization? So simply, how much amount Finance Ministry has infused in general insurance companies, which is to public sector banks. Public sector insurance companies. We'll see the options. The options are A. 2,500 crores, B. 3,000 crores, C. 3,500 crores, D. 3,200 crores. In none of these. So recently Finance Ministry will going to infuse this 3,000 crore capital. So the option is, the answer is option B, 3,000. The Finance Ministry will infuse 3,000 crore capital into our state-owned general insurance companies during this current quarter, that is of 2021. So for recapitalization purpose. Recapitalization means to improve their financial health of these insurance companies. So present there are 3 public sector general insurance companies are there, no? So one is National Insurance, and another one is Oriental Insurance, and last one is United India Insurance. So these are the 3 public sector insurance companies. I will repeat once again. What are those? National Insurance, Oriental Insurance, and United India Insurance. So these 3 insurance companies will get 3,000 crore capital for recapitalization of their businesses to improve their financial health. Okay, right now next question we will see, who has been appointed as head of the committee formed by RBI to suggest steps for strengthening and consolidating primary cooperative banks, that is urban cooperative banks. In the question what they are saying, who has been appointed as the head of that committee found by RBI for strengthening this primary urban cooperative banks. These are the options. Options are A. Tajinder Mukherjee, B. Harshkumar Banwala, C. N.S. Vishwanathan, D. Saurabh Mishra. In none of these. Recently, RBI has constituted an expert committee on these urban cooperative banks, that is primary urban cooperative banks, to examine issues and suggest a roadmap for their strengthening and consolidating their these cooperative banks. So for this, RBI made an expert level committee. So the question is the committee chaired, who is headed by that committee. So the answer is option C. It is N.S. Vishwanathan. He is present RBI Deputy Governor. So he is the head of this committee. So this committee will examine and will suggest steps for strengthening these urban cooperative banks. Now when it comes to static part of this RBI headquarters, it is Mumbai, and RBI Governor, you know already, he is Shaktikant Das, but he is 25th Governor. So this also you need to remember. In exam point of view, question may ask like anything, no? So they won't ask right away who is Governor of RBI. So they may ask, so he is 24th or 25th. So which number for this RBI Governor, that may ask. So he is the 25th Governor of RBI. And now moving on next question, the question says how much amount will be infused by Finance Ministry. So this question we already seen just before this question, no? So I'll skip this question. Okay, right. Now we'll see the next question. The question says which organization has released a comprehensive report? Which organization has released a comprehensive report? That report titled Traffic Crash Injuries and Disabilities, the Burden on Indian Society. So in association with the Save Life Foundation. So simply with the Save Life Foundation, which organization has released this comprehensive report? That report title name is Traffic Crash Injuries and Disabilities, the Burden on Indian Society. You see the options. Options are A. Reserve Bank of India, B. ADB, Asian Development Bank, C. NABARD, D. World Bank. The Traffic Crash Injuries and Disabilities, the Burden on Indian Society. So this report states that India accounts for 11% of global death due to road accidents. So due to road accidents, India meeting 11% of overall global death reports. So this report has been developed by which organization? It is asking in this question, no? So the World Bank. The answer is option D. It is World Bank. World Bank has released this comprehensive report, that traffic crash injuries and disabilities. So they are saying the report states that India has only 1% of the world's total vehicles. So India having only 1% of the world's total vehicles. So however, the country met around 11% of global death due to only road accidents. So due to road accidents, 11% deaths are happening. So this is the highest death rate in the world. So because of this road accidents. So this is the highest death rate in India. It is accounting. So that's why this World Bank has released this report. Now moving on next question. The question says how many members are there in the expert panel found by RBI to suggest steps for strengthening and consolidating primary urban cooperative banks? So this question also we had seen in last slide now. So this also we will skip. Next question says how much amount of PLI scheme, product linked incentive scheme, has been approved by Government of India for telecom equipment and networking product manufacturing recently. Simply Government of India recently introduced this product linked incentive scheme under Atmanirbhar Abhiyan. So that how much amount has been approved for this telecom and this networking product sector? Which the options? Options are A. 11,295 crores, B. 12,195 crores, C. 13,495 crores, D. 15,595 crores. Mostly this amount rated figures they won't ask in exam. Just you need to remember So the right answer is option B. It is 12,195 crore. So recently our Union Cabinet chaired by who? Our Union Cabinet chaired by Prime Minister Narendra Singh Modi ji. So he has given his approval to introduce this product linked incentive scheme in 10 key sectors. Overall in 10 key sectors. So in this question I asked only in telecom equipment and networking sector. No? So there are other 9 sectors are there. So why they have introduced this scheme? For enhancing India's manufacturing capabilities and enhancing exports. So here the cabinet has approved a product linked incentive scheme that worth is 12,195 crore for telecom equipment and networking product manufacturing. So for this sector they allotted this much amount. Now next question says RBI released a circular which defines that the central bank has tightened the norms for investments in NBFCs from how many non-FATF nations? Friends, here they have given here questions may ask in abbreviations. NBFC, non-bank finance companies, and FATF, Financial Action Task Force. So this also you need to remember. Now we'll see the options. Options are A17, B20, C15, D10 in none of these. We'll see the question once again. RBI released a circular which defines that central bank has tightened norms for investments in NBFCs. From how many non-FATF nations? So from how many non-FATF nations RBI has tightened to invest in which sector? In non-banking finance sectors, non-bank finance companies. So the right answer is option A. It is 17. So from 17 non-FATF nations, RBI has tightened their norms to invest in these NBFCs. So first, in exam point of view, you need to remember what is FATF and non-FATF. FATF, there are some. It is one organization, that Financial Action Task Force. So it is a global money laundering and terrorist financing watchdog. So they are watchdogs. So they are observing from which nation to which nation, from where to where this money laundering is happening and terrorist financing happening. No, so these things they monitor. So for monitoring that, that country should join in that nation. So in the join in that organization. So if we join in that organization, will come under FATF jurisdiction. FATF jurisdiction. So if you not join means we won't come under that organization. So our India already member of this FATF nation. So including with India in FATF currently comprises 37 member jurisdictions and 2 regional organizations which representing most major financial centers in all part of the globe. So if you want to know more, you Google it about this FATF. It is a big organization. So in exam point, you need to remember in FATF there are 39 member countries. In that 39, 37 are member jurisdictions and 2 are regional organizations. So for what purpose FATF has, has stepped out? It is a global money laundering and terrorist financing watchdog, that you need to remember. So for especially rate, so in this question there are non-FATF nations. So from around 17 non-FATF nations, so they cannot invest in NBFCs in India. They can invest, but RBI has made one circular, so they tightened for their norms to investing in these companies. That's all. Now next question says which of the following organization partnered to boost the digital finance transaction processes for small businesses? So which of the following organizations has partnered to boost the digital finance transactions process for small businesses? These are the options. Options are A. Flipkart and Paytm, B. PhonePe and Paytm, C. Visa and PayPal, D. Mastercard and RoserPay. In none of these. We'll see the right answer. The right answer is option D, Mastercard and RoserPay. So Mastercard has entered into a partnership with this fintech organization. So RoserPay. RoserPay, it is a fintech organization. It is our Bengaluru based fintech organization. They may have partnered, they have partnered to drive digital payment acceptance for small businesses, MSMEs, micro, small and medium enterprise, and startup companies also. So this partnership will provide digital transformation of payment transaction processes to small businesses. So in exam point of view, just remember for small businesses processes, which organizations has boost their digital service, digital finance transactions. So in that question, just remember is these small companies same, that is Mastercard and Razorpay. Of course, Razorpay it is startup company. Now they expanded very much good in Indian businesses. So here Mastercard and Razorpay they both has made a tie-up for giving digital finance transactions for small businesses. So now when it comes to static part of this question, the headquarters of Mastercard it is New York now, and executive chairman and of Mastercard Ajay Banga. When it comes to this Razorpay it is as I told it is a startup company and it is like fintech company. So this company headquarters it is Bangalore. That's all. Now moving on next question. The question says the IACE was a circular economy hackathon. The IACE was a circular economy hackathon which was recently held by the government of India with which country? With which country? Which is options? Options are A. Australia, B. India, C. Japan, D. UK. In none of these. Our Prime Minister Narendra Singh Modi ji addressed a function. It is the India Australia Circular Economy Hackathon on February 19th, I think, via video conference. No? So via video conference, the Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji has addressed this India Australia Circular Economy Hackathon. So this IACA, it is what you call India Australia Circular Economy Hackathon. So they made a chances to get abbreviation of this question. What is abbreviation of IACE? So IACE means I denotes India, A denotes Australia, C denotes circular, E economy. India Australia Circular Economy Hackathon. So this hackathon held on February 19th. No? So this was jointly organized by Atal Innovation Mission, Niti Aayog, Government of India, and Commonwealth Scientific and Industrial Research Organization CSIRO, Australia. This was jointly organized by our Atal Innovation Mission and Niti Aayog and Government of India and Commonwealth Scientific and Industrial Research Organization, Australia. The answer is Australia. So option A is the right answer. That I will repeat question once again. The IACE was a circular economy hackathon which was recently held by Government of India with which country? With Australia. So India with Australia they made recently held this hackathon. That is what hackathon, circular economy hackathon. IACE, India Australia Circular Economy Hackathon. Now next question says with which country has the government of India approved the signing of Comprehensive Economic Cooperation and Partnership Agreement CECPA. See friends, this also you need to remember. One abbreviation came here again. That is CECPA, Comprehensive Economic Cooperation and Partnership Agreement. Which is the options? Options are A. Ethiopia, B. Kenya, C. South Africa, D. Mauritius. When we see option A to D, so all these countries are especially African countries. So the cabinet has approved the signing of this Comprehensive Economic Cooperation and Partnership Agreement between India and Mauritius. Option D is the right answer. So with India and Mauritius, government has made an agreement. So with India and Mauritius, no. So the India and Mauritius CECPA is the first trade agreement to be signed by India with an African country. So India never made an agreement with any under the CECPA with any any African country. So this is the first agreement with the African country. The answer is option D, it is Mauritius. Now moving on, next question. The question says, which organization can issue directions related to maintenance of liquidity coverage ratio, risk management, asset classification, and a loan to value ratio, among others, for housing finance companies? For whom? For housing finance companies. Simply, which organization can issue directions related to maintenance of these liquidity coverage ratios and risk management, no, to housing finance companies? We'll see the options. Options are A, NABARD, B, Ministry of Finance, C, RBI, D, SEBI. Right answer is option C, RBI. Of course, RBI only can issue directions to housing finance companies to maintain this liquidity coverage ratios, risk management, asset classifications, and loan to values and other ratios. Here the RBI only can give directions to these housing finance companies. So these housing finance companies regulated by National Housing Bank and Reserve Bank of India. These both organizations can regulate these housing finance companies. And what are the some examples of housing finance companies are? So there are Canfin Finance Company, it is housing finance company, and ICICI Home Finance Company, it is housing finance company. And if you see Sundaram PNB Paribas, so it is also housing finance company. And if you see Devan Housing Finance Corporation, so it is also an housing finance company. So there are many housing finance companies are going on in India. So for this regulated by our NHB and RBI, and RBI can issue directions related to maintenance of this liquidity and risk management, asset classifications, and a loan to value ratios, no? So these can issue directions by RBI only. And when it comes to static part, this housing finance companies, then this, regarding this RBI headquarters, it is Mumbai, and RBI governor he is 25th governor. That's it. And if you haven't yet subscribed my channel, please subscribe my Invoting YouTube channel and press the bell icon to get the latest notification to your mobile. Thanks for watching. Thank you. Jai Hind.